Hi, I'm Jim Raffle. Welcome to this episode of the Jim and Shelby Show, the All Things Print Podcast.
I'm Shelby Sufusek. I'm glad to be here today. How are you, Jim?
I'm great, and we're actually here together in one place.
For once.
Yeah, well, and maybe in the future too, like next week.
No, the week after.
The week after. But next week your hair is going to be blue?
Yes.
Oh, like blue of like my shirt blue?
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll find out.
We'll have to wait and see, okay. So what did you want to talk about on this week's episode? You had some ideas this afternoon.
Well, we've been in Connecticut this week, and we've been on site, and we've been doing more consulting than we have training or doing trade shows. And what I was thinking about talking about was troubleshooting.
Troubleshooting.
Yes.
Okay.
As a general topic.
So, like for example, we had a situation where there's two printers.
Yes.
And they're very similar models. They're like one model number apart.
Yeah, well, like one upgrade apart.
But they were vastly different to deal with.
Well, I think they built them different under the hood.
I would have to agree. Because one of them we ended up having to build. Well, one of them we were able to build a very usable CMYK profile that also made use of the red ink in that printer.
Right.
The other one, we built a usable CMYK profile, but it may or may not have been using the red ink because that was all happening under the hood of the printer, as you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had to build an RGB profile to make full use of the gamut of that printer for photography work. So it was one of those situations where we didn't know what we were going to have to do going in, and there's no way you could have really predicted that. It's one of those things. It's the reason you hire consultants, is because we come on site and help you figure it out.
Well, and we have a good relationship with the software developer for the RIP, and we were able to put in support tickets and get answers, in a decent amount of time. But at the same time, I think they didn't necessarily know all the bugs that were going on with it because they don't have.
Well, no, we found some.
Yeah, we found some. And so I ended up doing 3 different profiles for this printer in 3 different modes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not perfect in any of the 3.
Right, but the end result is that the customer, our customer, has 3 usable profiles that together should be able to solve all of their issues. So the problem that they had is the RGB profile probably produced the best overall print results, but in order to make use of a Pantone matching system.
Or spot color.
Any spot color. And if you want to be able to adjust it in CMYK, which is what most people are used to doing in our business, you have to have a CMYK profile under the hood. Now, you can have an RGB profile with the RIP we're using, and you can make Pantone adjustments or spot color adjustments in RGB, but they're not used to doing that. And so they wanted something that was consistent. They actually have their own in-house developed software where they record the CMYK recipes, and there's no place to put in an RGB recipe. And so this was a situation where we had to get them a solution, and we came up with one.
And I think what was resonating with me today, as this is our second of the 3rd day on site, is there's no way to know what you're going to walk into.
True.
And there's no way to be like, this is what you have to do, step 1, step 2, step 3, and it's always going to work, because that's not going to happen. And what was interesting to me today is I was solving a problem that's normally in your wheelhouse, and you were solving a problem that was normally in mine, and that was with the grayscale and Photoshop. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I was helping with their dye sub department. This is the biggest small shop I've ever been to.
I suppose, yeah.
Right? They're relatively.
And we've been here twice now.
Yeah, and the number of people there, they're relatively small, but they can do everything. And so they have a dye sub department, and in the dye sub department, they were doing some work on it was chromoliths, and so it's photographic work, so it's important. And one of their big photographic clients does a lot of black and white photography. Yeah. And so he was like, I'm struggling to get grayscale to work and this and that. And I'm like, well, some of that was the RIP you were working with. And so I'm glad you've upgraded to the RIP we have you on now.
Yep.
And then I also sat down with him in Photoshop and showed him how to convert the file to it so that it was grayscale coming in, CMYK grayscale coming in. And it were actually just grayscale, not CMYK, it was just grayscale, because this RIP supports a grayscale input profile.
Right.
And so with a grayscale input profile, you get gray out if the profile you built for them is gray. Now, in this case, I had actually already trained this gentleman, and he built that profile himself, which is really cool.
He's really done a great job over the last couple of days.
And so he got to see his profile produce a better black and white image than he had ever had before. And he's like, I spent 2 days, and he went and got all the samples, and he covered a table. He goes, I sent him all these samples.
I took a picture.
Yeah, which one do you want? and we in one pass gave him something better.
We should share that picture on the podcast. I think we could
can
do that.
Yeah, Jake can insert that for us. Absolutely. Yeah. So what else did we run? Oh, I want to talk a little bit about Spec Check and how we were able to use that.
Okay.
So Spec Check Mobile, which is the app that Colorcasters has had developed by our friend Chris Helford at Helford G Consulting.
Yes.
The mobile version just keeps growing, keeps getting better. It's still free. You can still download it for free, and this isn't necessarily commercial, but it is free. And so Shelby and I both have it on our phones, and now Shelby has it on her brand new iPad. And what's really cool about it is you've always been able to save a CGATS file of your measurement results.
Yes.
And we've been doing that to shared iCloud drives. But now Chris has put a feature in where we're able to load an existing CGATS file.
And share it.
Right. So you could take measurements over on your side of the shop and then say, hey, Jim, can you take a look at this? And I could just literally load it up on my phone and look at the results. And, talk about a troubleshooting tool. We're able to see, I'm thinking about our customers doing that, right?
Right.
They literally have a free app. They have to have a NICS device to do this, but once they have a NICS device, they have a free app that they can take measurements and transmit those measurements to us very easily. And I actually have one customer doing that already. So
nice.
Yeah.
And it's helpful for us as color management consultants because, like in this particular case with this client this week, I'm in one part of the building, you're in another part of the building, and we're texting each other, and I can upload these results to you and say, hey, what do you think? Do I need to remake this profile, or is this good enough for, this substrate, this type of printer, whatever it is, and we can just, have a little powwow based on the data right there and there.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. And it's just a great place to store it. It's up in the iCloud. We can get it anytime we need it. We can easily share it with other people. And it's, like I told Chris, who needs a database? Now, I don't necessarily really believe that. I think there's a lot of power in databases. But, CGATS files properly stored in a directory structure is almost like a database. And we can get to the data we need when we need it. So, yeah. What else do we want to talk about today?
Just that Printing United is coming up really soon.
And you're going to have blue hair there.
You keep saying that.
I am. I can't wait to see your blue hair. What can I say? So maybe I should have like red hair or green hair?
No, I think you should you should be happy that you have hair.
We digress. I think we can talk about some of the things we're doing at the show now. It's getting close enough.
Sure.
We're going to be in the New Tech Digital booth.
New Tech Cover.
New Tech Cover. And we'll get the booth number and either put it in the notes this week or we'll share it with you actually verbally next week.
And the very first day of the show, which is a week from today, Wednesday. No, 2 weeks from today, Wednesday.
Yeah.
We are going to be part of a vendor demo at the beginning of the show. But I don't have the...
That's in New Tech Cover's booth.
That's correct. Okay. And I don't have the booth number memorized right now, but we can add that in.
We'll get it either in the notes or next week. And so next week, Shelby made a good point. I thought we'd be together. I'm a week off. Next week, we'll be probably two squares on the screen again.
Yes.
But the week after, we will be together in Las Vegas at the show.
Yes.
And we hope to record one or many episodes while we're there.
Yeah.
And so those will be exciting. If you're listening and you maybe want to jump on, even if you don't want to do a whole episode with us, if you just want to meet and
do a little blip.
Yeah, do a minute or two. Let us know. We'll come find you, and you can come find us, and we'll get the camera going.
In a way, I'm kind of excited that we don't have a booth this time. We're kind of walking the show. We have so many people we want to go see, and people have invited us to be in their booths for certain periods of time. And I think it's going to be a fun show.
Okay, absolutely. All right, so we are going to sign off from Connecticut. Yep. Oh, you know what we should talk about? So this is going out Friday. Next week, Wednesday and Thursday, we are running a color management professional workshop.
Fundamentals.
Yep, fundamentals. It'll be online, 2 days, 4 hours each day. Your instructors are right here, Jim and Shelby. And we're authorized.
Actually, that's Jim and I'm Shelby.
Okay.
He did it backwards.
Did I?
I think so.
We're authorized to be instructors for this class. And so it'll be live and online, 4 hours, the same content that you would get if you signed up on Printing United. And we will take you through it. You can ask questions. We will interact with you. And it's going to be Wednesday and Thursday, noon to 4 Eastern.
Yes.
Yep. So if you think you're interested, check out colorcasters.com. You can under educational opportunities, I think it is.
Just email me, Shelby at colorcasters.com.
We can definitely get you the information.
Yep.
It's $499. But as a podcast listener, if you use the code loyalty10, the word loyalty and the numeral 10, you will get 10% off.
Oh, that was very kind of you.
Yeah. Why not? All right, that's all we got. We
Yep.
will see you again next week.